All right, this weekend, tomorrow, we have a great game between Vanderbilt and Alabama, with Vanderbilt traveling to Tuscaloosa and the return trip after a huge, huge upset last year. We're in a very, very similar spot that we were in last year, right? We had Alabama with a huge win against Georgia, and then a week later had to go to Vanderbilt and they lost. So we're in the very, very same situation that we were last year. I cannot believe that we have a game between Alabama and Vanderbilt, and College Game Day is going to be there. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I cannot believe that Vanderbilt is anywhere near good enough for that. But they are ranked. They are in the top 20 against Alabama this weekend. I just don't see a way that Vanderbilt wins this game. Okay, after Alabama and how they played last week against Georgia, right? They looked like they were a well-coached team. They looked like a team that wasn't out-penalized like they always are. That was the first game that they didn't have more penalty yards than their opponent under Kalen DeBoer. First time that has happened since he got that job. So if they're turning that around, and if they're turning that into being a well-coached football team, which they haven't been in a while, then they will win this game easily. If you watch that game against Georgia, you would think, okay, this is a Nick Saban Alabama team, which you cannot say about any other Alabama team that we've watched under Kalen DeBoer. But if they can play like that against Vanderbilt, then they'll be in business, right? That's how they come back after a Florida State loss, which they looked horrible, and it looked like Kalen DeBoer would be on the hot seat. This is how you come back. You beat Vanderbilt, you beat Georgia, and then you followed up, because they have a ton of ranked wins. They have a ton of ranked games after this. So they have a lot of opportunities to prove that they can be back and be good at football and be a well-coached team and everything. But they got to do it. They got to face Diego Pavia, okay? This Vanderbilt team is legit. This team is a real team, and they are not the old Vanderbilt. This isn't like that guy going like, oh, we got Alabama next week, and we're going to beat them. You guys know that clip that I'm talking about from like years ago, and they got crushed the next week. This isn't the same Vanderbilt team. This is I don't want to say quietly confident team, but it's not a overly loud confident team, right? They know how good they are. They know that they can go and win this game. They know that because they did last year. So they're going to be playing with a lot of confidence going into this game, in belief that they can do this, belief that they can make a college football playoff run. But if Alabama plays like they did against Georgia, Vanderbilt doesn't have the talent to withstand that, and I don't think that they'll have a shot. The way that Vanderbilt would have a chance in this game is kind of like last year, winning third downs, winning the penalty margin, winning on special teams. You have to be able to have Alabama shoot themselves in the foot a few times to be able to win this game, and I just don't see that happening. I think that they really figured something out last week against Georgia, and I think Alabama's going to be a really good team. This is the Alabama team that I projected as a top 10 team in my preseason. This is where Alabama makes that statement. This isn't last year's statement. This is we're going to make the playoff. We're going to be a successful football team this year. And I think Alabama will get it done this weekend.